All right, hi runners. This is Aaron Barber, your race director for Elephant Mountain, and this is going to be your race brief for the 2025 race. We'll get right to it. I will just go run through a few things that might not be included on the website, and then we'll wrap it up with going through the specific courses. But without further ado, we'll start with the most pertinent information, like packet pickup. So we're going to try something different this time. If you're used to coming on Fridays, that is no longer a thing. It kind of creates a logistical problem for our staff to get the registration material from Aravaipa headquarters on Friday night to the race site on Saturday morning. So we're going to be going to a Thursday packet pickup. So Thursday, 12 to 5, drive-through style at Aravaipa headquarters, just like normal. If you come on Friday, no one will be here. All the stuff will be out at the park. And then your second option will be Saturday morning, race morning. We'll be there at 5:15, and you can start picking up your packet and your bibs then. Either one will work. At Cave Creek Regional Park, parking is pretty limited. Here's kind of an overview of the park. You come in down here, and then you drive in. This is the nature center. There's no parking along the road. You can after you cross this little bridge, we'll have this coned off because there's like a larger shoulder here. Not allowed to park there at all, so make sure you don't do that. And there's no parking at the nature center. They will have that blocked off. But for the 50 milers, we can probably fit 20 to 30 cars in here. So if you're in the 50 miler, try to come right to the race start and we'll get you set up. Other than that, we can use the Ramadas. The old race site has about 50 spots. And then if you go up this loop, there are these little satellite lots. And we have full access to these. So we can drive the loop, use any of these ones, or you can even use the Go John Trailhead parking right up here. And this is like a couple 100-yard walk to the start finish of the race. Not far at all. So 50 milers, 50Ks, runners can definitely park in the park. The shorter distances, so the 22, 12, and 6K will definitely have to utilize our remote parking. 35K, I'd recommend using the remote parking as well. But if you want to try the park, go for it. But I'm going to say the 50 mile, 50K, guaranteed in the park. All the shorter distances, let's plan on remote parking. And if you're in the 22K or less, it is required to use the remote parking. Remote parking is going to be, if you've ever run Thriller or Elephant last year, it is at the Rodeo Arena. The address will be linked here, and I'll put it up on the website. We'll have a staff member here, and this can fit hundreds of cars. We've got 4 school buses from Deer Valley that are going to be shuttling you the 7-minute drive into the park. With that being said, if you take the shuttle, it waives the entry fee. We cover that for you if you take the shuttle. And then my next recommendation would be to carpool. If you're in one of the longer distances, come in early, get a spot and carpool. By my count, there's roughly 200 spots in here, and that'll cover the 50 mile, 50K staff and volunteers. If you're in a shorter distance, like I said, rodeo grounds for parking for you. We covered packet pickup. Drop bags will be Saturday morning only. Don't bring them to Aravaipa on Thursday. Right at the start finish, we'll have signs. Make sure you put your drop bag in the correct pile. So there'll be a sign that says 7 Springs drop bags for 50 mile runners. Make sure you put your 7 Springs drop bag in the 7 Springs pile. And then also when you're done with it at the aid station, there'll be a sign that says finished drop bags. Move it to there so we can try to bring it home for you. Last thing with drop bags, we'll have white tape and Sharpies there, but if you want to do this at home, feel free. But they need to be labeled. Name and bib number is super important to have on it. And if you forget your name, I'd rather have your bib number. It's easier for communications just to look by numbers and organize them. So bib numbers on the drop bags somewhere. We'll have white tape and Sharpies for you as well. We'll go through restrooms when we're out on going through the courses. But there will be restrooms at the start-finish area, 12 or 14 or so, plenty right in this area down here. Weather's looking good this weekend. Should stay in the 60s, maybe have some clouds. That does still feel warm, especially if you're coming from a northern climate. If you're in the 50 mile or 50K, I'd recommend some sunscreen. Otherwise, we're looking at good temperatures. It's really dry out there, so none of the water crossings are really an issue this year. Really dry summer and winter for the desert. And then before I get into the courses, I do want to hit on just dropping out of the race. I want everyone to finish, but I know that won't happen. We always have drops for various reasons. Sometimes it's necessary. It's not a huge deal. You make your own call. If you don't feel fit to finish, or you're injured, or it's just time constraints, whatever the reason is, you have to let someone know. So otherwise, you'll get a text from me at the end of the night wondering where you are, because I like to have 100% coverage on all runners, making sure there isn't anyone left out on trail somewhere. Even if it's a short distance race, definitely let someone know, preferably someone who works for Aravaipa or in the timing tent, just to confirm that you have dropped out of the race. But you're all going to finish this one. So courses, we will start with the long ones. Let's do the 50 mile first. This is a great race. This was actually my very first ultra and very first race with Aravaipa. So from the start, you're going to climb right out of the gate, up and over Gojan, big long descent, and then you're going to get in this gnarly wash down here that you'll end up doing twice and hit Gojan aid station. You'll make your way on a little bit of a road. This section is pretty rocky on the Maricopa Trail to Roger Creek aid station. Then you start climbing up and over the Elephant Mountain Saddle. This is actually Elephant Mountain right here. This is a long descent in this vicinity. Right in here, making your way down to Spur Cross. There is a water crossing right before Spur Cross. It is very dry right now, so don't have to worry about that. When you leave Spur Cross, the race changes. When you're in this first section of the course, it's largely park trails and stuff like that. When you get up into the Tonto National Forest, this big loop up here, it is very remote. So you're going to make your way north through some cow pastures and then drop down into one of my favorite sections of the race into Skunk Canyon. There's some water flowing up there, but when I ran it a few weeks ago, we were able to do all the crossings without getting our feet wet. Beautiful section, going paralleling a creek, and there's some waterfalls up to Seven Springs Aid. You'll hit the short out and back for the aid station, chance for a drop bag. Note that this section is almost 12 miles going from Spur Cross to Seven Springs, and then from Seven Springs to Spur Cross, it's 13. So even longer. So you've got 25 miles with one aid station. This looks like it's downhill all the way back to Spur Cross. It does not run like that. You get these lumps in here. It's rough. I think the return trip from Seven Springs is more difficult than the way to Seven Springs. Then you're going to basically do an out and back. So after Spur Cross, same climb up Elephant Mountain Saddle, hit Roger Creek. This aid station will not be manned at this point, but the supplies will still be there. And then we're going to hit Gojan Aid for the second time. Some last punchy climbs just because we love you. And you'll finish on Quartz Trail right to the finish line. 50K, you're going to stick inside the park, but you'll make the trip all the way out to Spur Cross. So same way out, up that Gojan climb. Let's switch that to 50K. There we go. Yeah, big climb right out of the gate. Long descent, hit that Gojan Aid. You'll go through Roger Creek, same thing, up over Elephant Mountain Saddle. Long descent to Spur Cross, turn around at Spur Cross. Don't go north. You don't want to go north, or else you're in for a lot more miles and a lot more rugged miles. So turn around, head up the Elephant Mountain Saddle, back to Roger Creek, through the Gojan Aid. This is going to be a really critical junction coming back into the park because 35K runners come back the same direction. 50K and everyone else 50 mile go this way, so that'll be a left turn for you guys. But nonetheless, these last punchy climbs up over Gojan, you're going to come through the start finish. You have a drop bag at the start finish, and then you're going to do this loop one more time. You don't need to go all the way to Gojan Aid, so this last loop is no aid, about 11 or 10 or 11K. Make your way around and do it one more time, and then you're done. Easy peasy. 35K, pretty unique course for you, for the Sonoran Cup runners. It is a straight out and back. For more details, you can watch the preview show that did with AJW and Chris Warden this morning. We delve into the course But straight out and back, same way that everyone goes out, or same way that 50K, 50 mile goes out, through Gojon, Roger Creek, Elephant Mountain Saddle, Spur Cross, turn around, make that long climb back up. And then this is the important junction where you get back into the park boundary and you're just going to go straight. Make sure you read those signs. They'll say 35K straight. They'll have critical turn. We mark the crap out of that junction. I call it giant critical junction in all my notes internally. So it is an important one, and there's a lot of signage. But just keep your eyes peeled for those 35K signs, and you can't go wrong. And then you're going to be going the reverse Gojon climb and subsequent descent, and then downhill all the way to your finish. 22K, fun course on tap for you. You do the Gojon loop with a short out and back to Roger Creek. So same way out as everyone else, big climb right out of the gate, through the wash, Gojon aid, rocky trail, and then we make it to Roger Creek aid station and do a U-turn. Then we're going to head back, hit Gojon again, entering the park, take a left. Everyone but the 35K takes a left. And then you're going to hit these last few hills, work your way around courts, and right to the finish. 12K, pretty easy route for you to follow. There is one short out and back just to hit that aid station. So same way out, you go all the way to Gojon aid in the wash, you hit the aid station, turn around, come back into the park, and complete your loop. You got the one aid station on course for you. And we'll finish it off with you 6K runners. This is a really fun course. I love the 50 mile here, but man, I love this 6K. So you're going to start the same way everyone else does, but instead of going up the Gojon climb this direction, you're going to go on Gojon trail this way. So heading east. This is kind of a long, gradual climb. It's a really nice, wide trail and great views. This is just really, really fun until you get to the junction of Gojon and Quartz trails. Then we'll be joining the other courses, how they finish. So you'll be following the same route in as 50 mile, 50K, not the 35K, but the 22K and 12K. And then this is nice and rolly, wide trail, fast finish for you 6K runners. Couple washes right at the end here, but this climb is really fun, and then you get a screaming descent all the way to the finish in the 6K. Restrooms, we'll just kind of overlay all the routes for you. Need course marking stuff. But restrooms will be at the start finish, and then there are restrooms. None at Gojon, none at Roger Creek. Spur Cross has restrooms at the aid station, and then Seven Springs has, for you 50 milers, there is a restroom down here about 200 yards off course, and there's also a newish one last couple years right next to the aid station. There is a pit toilet, like a building, they built it. So that's really nice to have, just FYI. We talked about dropping out. We have our packet pickup locations, weather, parking. So yeah, just make sure if you're in one of the shorter distant races, you are parking at the remote parking, which is the rodeo grounds right down here. Plenty of cars, plenty of buses to take you to and from the park, and you will waive your $7 entry fee because we will cover that for you. Thank you, Jamil. That is all I got right now. We're going to keep this one short. Studio time is limited. They're doing Black Canyon stuff in here, so I think I said what I need to say. This will be going out attached to an email, so I'll cover some more details, have links to remote parking address. Remote parking address, you don't need to see two of me. The remote parking address, the actual address to the park, and other valuable information will be coming out in the runner email. That'll hit today. And then if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I will be on site tomorrow and Friday doing course marking and setup. So if you do need to get a hold of me, I'll be checking my email, but there might be a delay in the response. But I can at least forward it to someone that can help you if it is not me. But keep that in mind. I'm happy to help. Otherwise, I will see you on Saturday morning. For you 50 milers, gates open. They say 5 o'clock. I don't think there's going to be anyone manning it before that. I will probably be there before 5 because I'll probably sleep in the park. But 5 o'clock is when you can enter the park if you're in the 50 mile. There's really no reason to get there over an hour early. You're just going to be hanging around and watching me turn generators on. But with that said, I can't wait to see y'all Saturday morning, one of my favorite races on the Dirt Series circuit. Y'all are going to crush it. We'll see you in the morning. Thank you.